All right, what's going on, everybody? I would like to welcome you to another episode of the No BS Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Jordan Pierce, and today we got a special guest, somebody I've known for a very long time, been somebody on my inner circle for years upon years now. Mr. Brian Harris, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much. What's up with you? How you doing?
I'm living, man. Same old. We're gonna get right into it. Before I ask my questions, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and what you do?
As he just said, my name is Brian Harris. Basically, I work, market, network, and build within the cannabis and CBD industry. I'm a known advocate in multiple states and areas, and, just basically trying to spread the good news of, medicinal cannabis.
That's what's up. So let's take a step back. Let's talk about your journey, cause you haven't been where you are now. Like I've watched your journey. So like I know the pretty much where you came from, which is a crazy story. But, let's take a step back and, take it back to when you first came up with the idea of your company, Lifted at the Moment.
All right, like my man Drake said, we started from the bottom, now we here. You feel me? It's literally, bro, like I'm not trying, underestimate it, but it's like everybody else. We start, I started at the bottom. I started, my mom's addict, some girl, she was hurting, and I was sitting there like, man, like I'm not trying to work. I'm not trying to keep living this 9-to-5 lifestyle that I feel like, no disrespect to anybody that does live it, it's not made for me. You feel me? Like I didn't choose this lifestyle and I don't want this lifestyle, so I gotta work for something else. And with any dream, if you don't work or put any emotion, it's just gonna be a dream. You feel me? So I went and actually, started establishing little things that I could afford and maintain, to start getting closer and closer to that point.
So what brought about the idea? Like, do you remember the moment that you just like, ooh, Lifted at the Moment, I'm gonna start, like that's what I'm gonna call it and that's what I'm gonna start doing? Like, how did that whole idea come about?
Well, basically I was chilling with my girl. We was just upstairs, getting our vibes right, getting lifted at the moment, as you would say. You feel me? My mom's had walked up there and was like, yeah, it's always good to be lifted within the moment, and no matter, what situation you're going through, whether it's good or bad, because, you don't really understand, how bad a situation could be until you in somebody else's shoes or in a worse situation, and then you looking back at that and be like, damn, I should have been lifted, or, took gratitude in a moment that I was in before, because, you never know what's going to happen or how it's going to hit you. So it's just like with Lifted, I just look at it like, bro, I'm trying to be lifted at every moment. I'm not trying to, be sitting there like, damn, this is going on and I got all these stresses and, negative things going on in my life that I can't even focus on keeping myself happy. So with Lifted, I focus on everything around me that can keep me lifted, whether it's love, whether it's, my religion, whether it's my family, whether it's, my boys, you feel me? No matter who it is, I just try to maintain a lifted lifestyle, and I keep that, through the people, the vibes, everything around me.
I got you. So it kind of just came about through your mom talking to you and just kind of just grasp the idea from that. That's dope.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. So, let's talk about where you are now currently. So how's the business going? How's the business going the past few years?
Well, like my boy AB said, business is booming. You feel me? It could be better, but business is booming. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I try to stay lifted within every moment. And, I started, I could say, with nothing, really, literally nothing but, a social media handle. And now I'm basically at a point where I'm franchising my store in multiple states. I'm in talks with, different contracts. I've been reaching out. We got the online store booming. We got the lifted boxes. Make sure you go grab one of yours. You feel me? We got everything going, and it's just, we at a really, really good point now that honestly I'm blessed to be in. And even anybody need help or, want to get pointed, you can always contact me because, I never thought it was going to be this far.
Yeah, knowing your story, bro, I'm not gonna say, I always saw your vision, but to see it actually, I've been there since you started this, and to see it actually come to fruition is crazy. That's the first story that I've actually watched the whole entire thing. It's like a movie for real. So with all that being said, I understand you got a shop. For those people who don't know, like, you got a shop located in Morgantown, West Virginia. So, talk about that. How did that come about? What made you, want to start, your own shop, and how long have you had it and things of that nature?
Okay, well, basically, I started out in Morgantown. You know, me and you both came out here to go to school in 2012, and that's when I was going through my period of not knowing basically where I wanted to go in life, whether I wanted to, you know, work a 9 to 5, what I wanted to actually do. We just got done off, you know, our long hiatus of playing, you know, football. Like, it was a lot of different things going on, and it was like, you know, we was at that point where we had to make a decision. And with me, like I said, I always love using, you know, cannabis, and I love the plant, I love the grow, smell, everything about it. And then I also knew the positive points. So I was just like, I want to look at the closest thing that I can do, you know, legally to get into this industry, which is head shops. So I did the research, I looked around, you know, went to my local head shops, seen what their products were, seen their prices, tried to run, you know, any type of learning I could, just like I looked at it like school. Anything I could to pass my test in life, you know, I was writing and bringing it in and just trying to basically become the best in my industry and my craft.
I feel you. And I want to say this too for everybody listening. I was not the biggest advocate. Brian can attest to this. I was not the biggest advocate of cannabis early on. I really wasn't. I couldn't stand it, to be honest. But due to this man and his journey and his knowledge that he's placed on me, I actually like it. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I'm actually a big advocate for it now, as far as like its health reasons and stuff like that, and the growth of it, especially like the CBD aspect too, like that everybody's kind of talking about now. So yeah, man. So it's not just how can I put it? It's not just for like fun. It's like health reasons, and I never heard of it in like a health way until you kind of brought it to my attention. I think like freshman year of college, because like people don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I totally understand, because I look at it like, you know, everybody looks at it. Well, I try to, because I look at any type of situation in both feet. So I look at the people that don't smoke it, and I look at the people that do smoke it, and like, I gotta also look, you know, with everything, you know, it's always gonna be those people that give off the wrong image with it, but then it's also gonna be those people that don't have any type of knowledge and is straight ignorant to the fact of what it actually is. And when you get those people, that's the scary people, because they start making, you know, all of these different, you know, rumors and false things, like, you know, people overdose off marijuana, which has never happened, anything like that, you know, like little things like that. But, you know, for a person, like, if you never messed with the plant, never dealt with it, and the first person you come into contact with about it tells you, hey, look, you know, this is a drug. It should be looked at like cocaine or heroin or something that, you know, is a real true Schedule 1 drug that actually kills people and can't be grown in your backyard off of natural sunlight and be, you know, connected to CBD cannabinoids in your brain. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like it's a different thing when you start talking about it in that demeanor. You get what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I know you understand now, but it's just like when you look at like how far the plant actually stretches and connects to us in so many different ways, it's like, how can you knock it once you do get that knowledge? And once you, just like you said, you got that knowledge, so it's like, how can you?
It's different now. I know now, like, it's a CBD craze. Everybody's talking about it and kind of bigging it up now and stuff like that. But you had this knowledge. You came to me with this knowledge back in what, 2012, 2013? Like, yeah. That was just through research, or like did somebody actually like sit you down and talk to you about it?
It was research, bro. It was the love of it. When you watch football, nobody had to come to you and say, hey, bro, like, how do you hold this? After a while, it was just, you loved that thing so much, you done put the research, the time, the work in, how many games you done played, and, you know, workouts. Look at the extra workouts you done learned having to, like, you know, play football. You could be a whole physical trainer.
Yeah.
But it was just the craft around the love, and that's what it was with me. You feel me? The love of the plant brought me in all the extra knowledge. It just was, you know, the bounce off of it.
So, through the times that, like I said, you've been on this journey for quite some time, yeah. Like, how would you say, what, 5 years? Maybe a little longer?
Yeah, like seven. Seven, I would say, is like my official time. I'll say the last 5 is like how long my business has been actually, like, you know, on paperwork. But 7 is like, I feel like where you know, the draw in the dreams and everything else got conceived. But yeah, within the last 5 years, the businesses, the EINs and LLCs then came about.
Okay, 7 years total. Within this 7 year span, what year would you say you became profitable?
Ooh, that is a good question because honestly, it depends. And with profit, I feel like it all depends on the actual person and where they're sitting and what they actually want and, conceive of as profit.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm always investing. So even when I make a profit, to me, it never feels like that just because of the fact that it's going back into it. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like, I'm trying to get bigger, but to actually say that, yeah, like I actually got to start spending money, taking trips, I'll say like my 3rd year in, I actually got to start seeing, some of the fruits of my labor when it came to actual, taking trips and actually, being at different events and being known as my company and as my brand. It probably took around like 3 years.
3 years. Okay. So 3 years of hard work. Y'all hear that? Gotta put in the time, man. Gotta put in the time. And so obviously 7 years in, you're not where you want to get to yet. So, where is, Lifted at the Moment going? Where are you trying to go with this brand?
With this brand, I'm trying to be the network and the face or one of the many faces of the cannabis industry. But like when I say face, I want to be a store like how you think of Walmart and Target and, all of these other big, commercial stores. When you start thinking about grocery shopping or something like that's one of the first things that pop in your head, or Walmart, or I gotta go to Target. That's how I want to be looked at when somebody says cannabis or CBD or anything within this industry. I want them to be like, oh, well, I know I can go through Lifted at the Moment and get connected with whatever I need within the industry. And that's my final and strong goal. But right now, like at this present time, it's basically building, franchising, and just spreading, the good word and not the negative word of the plan.
Got you. So I understand that you just recently, did, what is it? The Cannabis Cup? That's what it's called, right?
Yep. The High Times Cannabis
High
Cup.
Times. So talk about that. How was that experience?
That experience, and if you have an experience, I always try to tell everybody, is a must go to thing because it actually gets to show you, one, the environment that, the weed industry, cannabis industry, that what it can create, but then what is already created. And you can see how many lives has changed, how many people has touched, how many doctors, how many companies, and just good business is around this. So it's just like, it's definitely a go-to experience. It's not even something that I can actually explain in words to make a person really understand it, if you get what I'm saying. It's something really, really changing, like life-changing. I go to, at least 2 or 3 a year. I've been to 2 this summer. I went to 1 in June in Cleo, Michigan, and then we went right back in Detroit. And I was supposed to go to Oklahoma 2 weekends ago, but little things ran into it. But literally, every time it's worthwhile. It's never been a time where I've regretted going or anything like that. And I've always made good connections, networks. So if you're in this industry, that's definitely a place that I feel like, you should try to start out or at least get to start getting a feel for the industry, because it's always going to be there. People willing to work, network, and, put in work with you. There was a dude out there, bro, selling, creatine and CBD powder and, all these muscle builders and all this natural stuff all through CBD. And when I seen it, I was thinking about you. I'm like, man, but yeah, bro, I'm telling you,
that's crazy. Yeah,
out there for everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy. They really have something out there for everybody. I didn't know you could do that. So you could do a lot with, the actual plant.
Yep. A lot of different properties. It goes into a lot of different, foods, drinks, different cleaning products. Like, honestly, my girl uses CBD, bro, to clean her acne from her pores. You get what I'm saying? Like, she stopped using all makeup and only uses CBD oil. I could read it right here. It's called the Cannabis Sativa Seed Oil Herbal Concentrate for Blemish Prone Skin. And literally, it's by Kyle's, Kiehls. And literally, bro, her acne, all that stuff, then cleared up off of it.
That's crazy.
Any pimples she done had, like, she washes her face with that CBD face wash, and that's all gone.
The power plant, man.
That's money, they lie when they say money ain't grow on trees.
Word. Speaking of that, I read something, I'll forget, don't get me lying. I don't know if it was like recently or a couple months ago, but I read something that's saying, I think it was by like 2020 or 2021 that it was like projected to be like a multi-billion-dollar industry or something like that, the cannabis industry. So, talk a little bit about that.
Well, Colorado, I know last May, they hit $1 billion sales, you know, since they've been recreational, and they've only been recreational for the last 4 years. So, you know, from 2014, at the end of 2014, they became rec. And with them becoming rec and making $1 billion in 4 years, 4.5, 5 years, that can already show you the power. But then when you start talking about the industry in a whole, I honestly don't even feel like they can calculate how much money is going to truly come out of this industry because of how much money it already generates. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's in its new fields being built every day, bro. Hemp, CBD was in the first Model T, the Ford car. Hemp's been found in that. Hemp is so strong it can be turned into a metal. So you're talking about metal that can be made. Hemp is strong enough and weak enough to become paper. So now people are making paper out of it. So you got paper, you got clothing. They're actually replacing cotton with hemp. So like, it's so many different industries that it's tapping into. It's like for it to say, oh yeah, directly off of the cannabis industry, yeah, it might be 100 billion. But honestly, I feel like just because of how versatile the plant is, it's going to tap into so many other industries that it's going to make so much more money than people have ever even imagined, because it's new products. Now that we get to actually work with the plant, and the more it becomes legal, we get to work with it even more, and they're making new chemicals, new products, and everything, you know, derived directly off of the plant.
That's crazy. That is crazy. I did not know it could be turned into a metal. That's crazy. Like, it's so much there. It's definitely a power plant. So how, speaking of recreational, do you know how many states are recreational at the moment?
Offhand, right now I think we're at total of like 10 or 11, but offhand I'm not too sure, because I've tried to hit everyone, but like I know with Alaska, I'm probably really gonna be out there. I'm not a person that really like the cold, but it's places like that, you know, where, don't get me wrong, I respect it, and I still love that the plant's going recreational everywhere. I think it should be recreational worldwide, but it's like so many places now, every other day, that's becoming rec, and not even just rec with medical and decriminalized. It's like it's really starting to become hard to keep up with it, just because of how many people, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to me. I love that.
So what excites you the most about, I guess you could say, the future of the cannabis industry?
Honestly, what excites me the most is people like you. That's what excites me the most. Seeing the people that, you know, when I first met you, you know how it was. You looked at that plant like every other drug. Like, you looked at it, you hated the smell of it, you wouldn't go near it, you know. And now that you got the knowledge of it, you know, you would be in a rally right there, right next to me. You feel me? Fighting.
Word.
So it's like actually seeing that and seeing it bring people together, and then honestly seeing, like, you know, the people with epilepsy, when you got kids, you know, 6, 7, 5, going through, you know, multiple seizures a day, and you see, you know, their parents say they're eating 15, 16 different types of pills a day, and then they say, well, one drop of CBD oil, or, you know, the actual cannabis oil, that boom, they don't need the pills, and the seizures have cut down dramatically. So it's like things like that, and then to think about all of the actual new, you know, findings they'll actually be able to find out about it, because the plant is becoming legal, and all the different things is going to still be able to help to this day, because all the knowledge we got, bro, is off of before the prohibition, or, you know, some illegal research that somebody did that wasn't even really in the United States, because with it being a Schedule 1 drug, no research was being done on it. So it's like there's going to be so many new findings and, you know, different help tips and stuff like that coming about the plant that I'm honestly, like I said, that's my excitement right there. Like, finding all the new things that it can actually do and help.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because I didn't know. Like, I'm still kind of amazed that it could be turned into a metal. Like, that's crazy to me.
The first Model T, look it up, bro. The first car had hemp.
That is crazy. That's crazy. It's a power plant for real.
It is.
Let's talk about, let's go back. Let's take a step back again, and talk about, like, the process. What kept you motivated through the whole time? You say you've been in this thing for like 7 years. After, 3 years, you kind of, saw the fruits of your labor a little bit. So in them first 3 years, what kept you motivated the whole time?
I mean, even to this day, I don't want you to think just because I said the first 3 years is when I seen a profit. That's when problems stop. Life is life. You're going to get that regardless. And I feel as though, like, what keeps me motivated through, you know, even up to these current day losses, and even when I first started and I didn't have, you know, all the tangible things to show me what my dream would be, what kept me motivated, bro, was myself. Like, who better to love yourself than yourself? Who better to keep yourself, focused and on it than yourself? Because at the end of the day, who's going to take care of yourself better than yourself? And that's how I look at it. Like, if I'm going to sit there and, mope about it and try to change my life, ain't nobody going to come into my life and be like, hey, Jordan, you know what we're going to do today? We're going to change your life. We're going to start right now. We're going to do everything you need to make your life better. I'm saying that if it is somebody out there like that, don't get me wrong, they're a blessing. I'm happy it is somebody out there like that. But in my life, where I come from, I have never met anyone like that. So, like, yeah, it's people that give tips, and I'm not expecting nobody to, give you the full ride or whatever, but it's just the fact that, like, I'm staying motivated because I know this is life. This is what, like, I was supposed to be here doing. Like, and that's what a person they got to know this is what they're supposed to be doing. That's where you stay motivated. You stay motivated knowing you waking up doing something, one, you want to do, and then not even just that, something that you are only allowing yourself to do. Nobody got to wake up and hit no timer and say, hey, B, it's time to open up your store. If I don't open my store up, bro, my store will be closed. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that right there, nobody's going to lose money or not be able to pay their bills but me. And then that started to affect my other life and other people that I got tied in with my dreams now. So it's like the pressure of just keeping myself afloat always kept me motivated. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like where I come from, and because we come from the same area, bro, like people don't get blessings every day like this. And then not even just that, just to say you get the blessing of life the next day. That right there was already enough because, where we come from, we done lost so many, you feel me? In the last 5 years, we've been out of school since 2012, and I don't even know how many people done died. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, and with me being so far away and it hitting me, it was like, that right there, I'm telling you, bro, it keeps the fire going. Like, you don't want to stop, like, because it's like, how can you take time for granted knowing that, somebody that was living life just like you, time then got cut short for whatever the reason may be. They time then got cut short, and I know they didn't predict that. You couldn't have went to anybody in our graduation class and be like, "Hey, do you think you're gonna die by 2016 or 2019?" Yeah. And that right there, that fear factor right there, bro, makes me want to leave a legacy so big. And that's why I say it's for myself, because it's like when I see all these people die, it's like they got to go back to high school, or you feel me, something to draw up what this person is doing. Yeah. But it's just like, when I die, bro, I want to leave one of them stories where they got to be like, yo, that boy from high school all the way through, like, he did this, he didn't went there, he didn't seen this, he didn't touch that, he didn't live life. And that's my goal. That's what's making me motivated, bro, because there's nobody else that's going to come and do that for me but me. Like, regardless, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I'm on a trip. I got the bread, you coming, you my brother. but that's where I'm like, it's still different on the aspect of like, like, you coming on a trip, but like, me saying, yo, bro, look, we got to build this business and change lives. Yeah. And that's where I'm at with it, bro. And that's what I'm on. Like, that's where, with my whole mental keeping focused, bro, I'm trying to change lives. I'm trying to, change my life. I'm trying to leave a legacy. I'm trying to help motivate. Like my boy Nip said, man, RIP to the GOAT, the great, like, and that right there keep motivated too. It's so many little things, bro, but basically it all falls down to you, like I said, leaving a legacy and, being remembered at the end of the day for something that, was bigger than yourself.
That's what's up, and that's crazy that you said that, cause I've always looked at life as like obviously I feel like everybody's sole purpose on this earth is to find out what their purpose is. Actually, me and Gretchen were just talking about this too. So, I look at life as far as like, once you find out what you're doing, just run that race. Like, don't worry about nobody else. And like, I think that'll keep you motivated in of itself, because you get, like a certain drive and a certain passion behind it, because it is legitimately what you're supposed to be doing. So you don't really even consider it work. You know what I mean? Even if you're getting paid for it. And it's like, some people find their passion, or their purpose, I should say. Some people find it at different ages. You know what I mean? Some people find it early, some people find it late. And I was just telling her, I was like, it's crazy, because even in my inner circle, we all are finding our purpose at different times. Like, you found yours early as hell, but it shows. You get what I'm saying? So like, cause we was talking about like comparisons and stuff like that, whatever. Like in people's lives, like how some people just try to like compare themselves to others. We were saying you really can't do that, because it's not your season yet, and you might not have found your purpose yet. So it's kind of crazy, like, that you say that and you just stay motivated, because it's just like yourself, because you honestly just legitimately found your purpose at a young age. Like, so somebody, people that listening, like, if you haven't found your purpose yet, or like you see somebody that's like doing big things or anything like that, don't ever like compare yourself. Don't ever fall down on yourself. They just found their purpose earlier than you did. Like,
exactly.
That's all that is. Once you find it, you'll be crazy motivated. You're not going to need no, like, extra motivation. Like, yeah, time's going to get tough, but like you said, that's life. So just stay motivated. But it's kind of funny that you say that, because I just, like, literally just was talking to her about that earlier.
And it's like, you can also look at it just like you were saying, if you're off of it, if you are worried about another person's plate, how are you eating? Because you over there worried about somebody else. And that's always been my goal, bro. Even when I didn't have it, I didn't know what I was doing. I was never worried about what else somebody else is. Yeah, don't get me wrong, if somebody asked me for help or something, but like I'm saying, I was never hating or downplaying what somebody else is doing, because I don't have enough time to. If I got enough time to sit here and put together on why he shouldn't be there or why he's doing what he's doing and I'm not, I'm already failing, because I should be doing or moving towards something that I should be doing instead of worried about what he's doing. You get what I'm saying? And that to me has always been like, you know, something major, to where it's like a lot of people get lost and sidetracked because they focus on the wrong things. You worry about love and hip hop when you need to be worried about your own love with your life. It's a lot of little things like that. And it's like the society, it shows within, you know, a lot of different people just off of the traits and things that's, you know, became acceptable, you feel me, within the society, because people are so worried about the next person and appealing to the next person rather than, you know, being happy within themselves. And that's the one thing I can say about me, bro, like and I'm hoping everybody else can, my demeanor on who I have been has never changed. I've been the same person since day one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can attest to that. You've been the same person, and you've grown in a good way, but I'm saying that overall, yeah, you've been the same person since I've met you.
And that's what I'm saying, because I didn't touch, bro, like, you know, crazy amounts of money, like bought $50,000, $60,000 necklaces, sitting crazy, you feel me? And it's like, even with me grabbing and touching all of that stuff, bro, I would never let the money change me. I would never let, you know, another person's perception on the way that I'm living or the things that I'm doing change me. Like, basically, like, not changing for nobody unless you know at the end of the day you changing for the better. And that's the little things that I did change. But when you change for the better, nobody and everybody that loves you, bro, they're going to say everything you just said. I ain't changed. Because I did change, but I ain't changed in a way that affected our relationship. Changed in a way to where you had to look at me funny. I only changed in a way that, you know, was making life better. You get what I'm saying? For somebody that loves you or, you know, wants the best for you, of course you're not going to say that's changed. Because you know why? That was supposed to happen. Just like your business is going to blow and that's supposed to happen. Just like what I'm doing right now is supposed to happen. And anybody listening to this that got something going on, that good energy and everything that's going to happen is going on right now is going to happen. Why? Because it's supposed to. And as long as you stay focused on that, that's how literally, bro, it's going to go down. Like, cause focus and that force behind that, bro, it's nothing that can stop it. And then when you add consistency, that right there is the chemical to success. Focus and consistency. I promise you, you apply pressure to both of them, whatever you want to do, and I guarantee you, you're going to blow up. I don't care what it is.
Dang, that's deep. I like that. I was about to ask you for some words of wisdom, but you done gave it already. That's what's up, though. That's what's up. So, we about to get out of here, but real quick, I like to, pretty much ask everybody cause like No Bottom Shelf, is pretty much like living your life. Like whatever it is that you painted, you going after there, you getting it, you not settling. So describe a day in that lifestyle, your No Bottom Shelf lifestyle. Think about that lifestyle that you want to live. And describe a day in that lifestyle for me.
Well, a day in the life of B, you know, I wake up, you know, I'm getting lifted at the moment first thing, because that's the thing that gets me focused, you know, let me get my meditation on. Then, you know, I get me a good breakfast, you know, try to go all green, smoothies, fruits, you know, good stuff, keep myself living long. And then, you know, go down to my double-door garage, jump in one of my foreign vehicles, and head to, you know, a beautiful, beautiful shop or business that I created from the ground up, being able to give different people that I know come from a lifestyle that I live a different way out, you know, not doing the regular way that people want, the 9 to 5. All my employees can tell you they love me, and I don't even look at them employees. They my people. They work with me. We business people. That's what I call them. They my business people, because I don't feel like it's levels to success. You get what I'm saying? Like it is and it isn't. When it comes to like, when people be like, oh, I'm the boss. No, you just the person that's giving directions because you, like you said, seen something a little bit before somebody. Mm-hmm. But who is for me to sit there and say, oh, because you working for somebody, you're not a boss. You a boss. I'm not gonna sit here and say that. I'm not. So like, me being successful and like, that literally to me is a good day. Like, bro, like going in knowing that I'm creating a boss or helping a boss be motivated to find their purpose and literally leading them on to what they love, not even directly through me. You get what I'm saying? Like, I got people that rap, I got people that, you know, are building industries, building clothing lines, building whatever, and however I can help, I try to. And literally, bro, that's the successful day for me. I ain't nothing else that will go behind it and making sure that, you know, I stay lifted at the moment throughout the whole thing. Outside of that, you feel me? Every day just brings us next test and I'm ready to face it.
That's what's up. Well, y'all heard it from Mr. Lifted at the Moment himself. A day in his lifestyle. That's dope. Any last words for anybody that was in a similar situation to you when you started, or just anybody that is out there that might not feel motivated or that would like to get in the cannabis industry? What advice would you have for them?
Stop thinking so much. Get out, do it, connect to whoever and whatever you can in your circle, in your means. Don't think it's not obtainable until you try it. And if that door don't open, go knock on another one. I'm telling you, one of them gonna open, and just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. And I'm telling you, you're gonna find that diamond.
Hey, I like that. I like that. So we're going in there. Real quick, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Brian is Lifted on Instagram, Lifted at the Moment on all social media platforms, LiftedAtTheMoment.com. Get your lifted gear, merchandise, and that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, you heard it from him. We're going to definitely have you on the podcast again. I appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man, so I very much do appreciate your time.
You already know, my brother. Anytime for you, brother.
I feel you. All right. We're going to get out of here.
Definitely be easy, man.
All right. Peace.